area, Greencastle Hill. You know, not just the whole alignment, but the history, the rich history of Shah Hill. It's also called Shah Hill. And I'm sure he'll be giving you a little explanation and why that is. We have a very full day. We expect the narrative drummers to be with us. You know, as I said, Rastafari Experience Antigua is myself, Honorable Rastre, our full family, my prince, my princess, Empress Nika, Empress, the fullness day, Empress Divine with us. So this is the whole team, Rastafari Experience. We have Sister Soldier with us. She is definitely doing our live stream with us today, because we are also live streaming internationally. The live stream will begin at 4 p.m. sharp. We have people in Canada, in England, in Brazil, all over the world that will be viewing this on the via the Facebook international stream. So I'm gonna turn it over to Rastre just to give you a short word. He will also tell you more about the payment aspect of it, and then we will move forward officially with our my Lord.
Blessed love to everyone. Give thanks for choosing to be here with us. You know, I'm sure that you will really full joy this whole experience, you know, to learn about the different alignments and to learn that this place, this special place exists here in our little island. And the Honorable Paddy Simon, the great griot, will give you the richness now of that history, as you all said. So, you know, just full joy as we move through. With the payment, is the children are free and the adults are $25. So we could just do that quickly before we move forward. If anyone would need change or anything, we could do that. And as the King said, when we are descending now, when we come down the destruction side.
Okay, I think we're ready to roll.
Well, when last time he came up, I carried him with the baby. I carried him with the carrier strap on me when I come
Alright, just get to know each other, man. Just me. And we have time, believe me, and we have the sun.
Things like that, you know, but I haven't been up there yet, physically. No?
Oh, Paddy, Daddy said to tell you hello.
Oh, good. You get any communication? Well, families that used to be up there, they now come home and retire down.
So this afternoon, it's Greencastle Hill. I'm going up there with Priest Isaac and Paddy the griot. So we're going to get some lessons today. And the children too. They're here for the hike and for the fun. So we move out of Ebenezer and we're going up into the the bush. The bushes, it's not so much woods. This is more grass and cassie tree, acacia. So here we are. Stay here and allow.
So eventually I call and I say, Happy Father's Day. And he said, by the way, I'll be back later. Oh! Okay, I have the reason. They love me now.
It's really well kept up. Yeah, because a lot of places are really overgrown, like most of them still get to fly out and still got a lot of them like this. It's crazy because if you look at the roads and the roads are quite busy. When you fly above it, there's not that many roads. Yeah. It's just that the few we have, they're too few.
next step, while you're breathing off, we're going to take a step behind of you, known as the Eternal City. And then we're going to take a little stroll going up this side of the hill where we eventually come to the grave of Governor Baldwin. And then the Honorable Rasdre will bring you down the destruction side so you could see the damage that is being done to the hill. And then, as was promised, we should seal off today, looking at the setting of the sun, not the exact when it dips, but we'll have an idea where it is going. And by the time the whole of this event is done, you'll see the heights of why Green Castle is so important to us. So again, officially, Green Castle Hill. You know, for those who are coming here for the first time, which appears to be the majority of you, this young man here is coming here for the second time. First time he came here, he was a little baby inside of a thing. This thing was carried. And we have the pictures still, so we know that. In fact, she's on the video we did, the documentary, an international documentary that went all over the world about Green Castle Hill. And he was there in the little farm. The little whatever. In fact, was it her mother? Okay, well, this good brother, his mother was with us too. And she came up the hill with a cane. And by the time she was coming down, the cane was put aside. Yeah, and she run. As the king said, she run. And that's not the first time that happened. She's trying to bring us into now the mystics of this hill. So the most outstanding feature of the hill, outside of the fever grass, and you don't see no fever grass yet, the fever grass is extremely low and very friendly. Yeah. Trust me. Believe me, because when the fever grass is high, even me myself, and you can see my hand, it's almost like if I'm swimming in the ocean, and it would hide all of these rocks. In fact, the little fever grass that you have is actually hiding a lot of the rocks that you would see much clearly or clearer if the grass was further away. Now, what you're looking at is a natural protrusion volcanic rocks. You say if you know the volcano last night? Yeah. You said yes. You will talk to him about that afterwards. You get the autograph. A protrusion of volcanic rocks is what covers this hill. Now we're basically in the front room of the hill, because at least when we go up to the Eternal City, that's what up there is called, that mountain behind it, you will at least get a better view of some of the other areas of the hill. And when you go to the top, you will actually see the whole hill. Now the hill itself, almost 700 feet high, again is littered or scattered with these rocks, these volcanic rocks. And what is interesting, this is like a science class now, what is interesting about these rocks is that they were not placed there according to popular thinking. These rocks naturally come out of the earth. It's a geological phenomenon taking place here. So obviously the formation of these rocks in this formation that they did obviously would have taken at least tens of thousands of years. These rocks, they are called megaliths. I know you all know what megaliths are. Yeah, well, you know. Megaliths are, mega means big. Yeah. And anything with lift is rock. Mega, lift, big rocks. So when you hear people talk about megalithic sites, those are sites in different parts of the world, like Stonehenge, which is the most famous. That is why they call Antigua, or at least Green Castle, the Stonehenge of the Caribbean. Because in England, in Salisbury, there is a place called cover it. And Stonehenge now was built in such a way that on the summer solstice, follow me good, winter solstice, and the equinoxes, the rising of the sun and the setting of the sun would cast a specific shadow on Stonehenge, which would make it appear as if the sun is aligning with specific stones. As one of you told me coming up tomorrow is the summer solstice or the beginning of summer. Somebody said that. Right. So now, summer is supposedly in the tropics the longest day of the year, at least in the northern hemisphere. So that is when the sun is at its most northern point. If today was the 21st of December, the sun would have been more over on that side because it would be more on its southern side. If it was March or September, the sun would be in the middle. So the sun does that all throughout the year. It goes north and it comes south and it goes north and it comes south. And we all know that the sun is not moving, the sun is not coming up and going down in the sea. It is because of the earth and the way it rotates and how it revolves that gives this impression of the sun moving. This is ancient sea. That is why the Bible in the 19th Psalm says that the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament, same thing, heaven, sky, showing his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech. You're not hearing nothing in it, but all this is a speech. Night unto night. Here's another thing that the Bible says. He said if people would not praise him, he'd write the rocks. Give him praise. You don't mean that the rock's going to start to sing a hymn. Hallelujah. No. It means that if you study the rocks properly, if you study the movement of the heavens properly, you can see the handiwork of the Almighty God. So this is why now, all over the world, Stonehenge, you can go in Central America, you will find all the great pyramids in Central America. All of these structures built, right? Summer solstice, winter solstice, and equinoxes. Some of them, like the pyramid in Egypt, was built in such a way that it aligned with the solar, the celestial northern pole. That means you have certain stars that go around the northern pole of the sky. The sky has a north pole, just as the earth has a north pole. There's a center point in the sky where you see stars just going around in a circle. They call circumpolar stars. They have monuments built on this planet that were built in such a way that they align with these special stars at special times. Now, all of what I'm saying, right, if it sounds too heavy, don't worry your head. The reason why I'm pushing all that on you, you don't even have to understand it. It just have to sound heavy. Because all what I'm saying is happening on this hill. And this is not a man-made building. This is not the pyramid. This is not even Stonehenge in England. This is a natural monument with stones pushing out of the ground. And that can be proven. When you go on that side, you will see for yourself stones because they mash up that side, you know. So you get a chance to see how inside looks. So you see the stones literally coming out of the ground, which has to be a process that would have taken at least tens of thousands of years. So now we have the solstice here. They have certain alignments right here on this hill. When we have the equinox, there's certain alignments. And listen, this is not us just saying this. We have scientists. There's a scientist by the name of Dr. Mara Imbert. She is from the University of the West Indies in Trinidad. And in 2003, she did a study on this hill. Brother Ewart Isaac was also with her. And in her report, she says that the phallic stone that you will see in a moment has a special alignment with the Little Dipper, which is one of the stars I was just speaking about, or constellations, pardon me, in the northern celestial sky, known as a circumpolar constellation. Again, even if you don't fully get it, once it sounds heavy, you're supposed to understand big stuff happening up here. Remember again, you know, this hill is being destroyed. You can't go nowhere else in the world and get anything quite like this. Don't mind the size of Antigua, that little place, the man. Kentucky bigger than that. No, don't mind, don't make that fool you. Remember, Antigua supposedly is not a volcanic island, so there must be some level of volcanic vein, because there are a lot of water veins under here. The Antigua masonry product has dug in the ground and burst water veins and created artificial pools behind here that we can show you within the last 7 years, because they weren't there all the time. In the same way that they created this road. This road is about 9 years old. You understand? So you could imagine this is a sacred site. It's a national park too. And I wouldn't even begin to go into the politics of it. There's so many other things that can be said about where we are here. As you could see, we're sitting down on some natural thrones. These are thrones. There are countless of thrones all over. Well, not countless, but there are many thrones. I don't want to exaggerate, I don't want to make it sound like I'm too powerful. When I say there are countless of rocks, I actually mean that. They're not countless of thrones, but they have plenty of thrones up here, naturally just protruding out of the earth. They have several beds where you can literally see it's a bed with a pillow and a buttress for you, like a lazy boy seat. And these beds and thrones and all of these things, when you sit down and you watch certain things, if you understand how the heavens move, you will notice what's going on. This throne right here, I'm telling you, careful my lord, this throne right here aligns with the crossing of the Sirius star. Trust me. But you'd have to be here maybe in the night to see Sirius crossing. And trust me, right here is where Sirius aligns with this throne. So the whole hill is an astronomical heaven. Anybody that's into archaeology and astronomy, this is like a mecca to them. And we mashing it up. I will leave it at that. I'll give Rastri a moment. After that, you want to come on the throne and after that, you know, you'll be able to take some pictures and everything. You know, I'm sure everybody done breathe off. And then when we go to the eternal city, I will reintroduce Brother Paddy Simon to you, and we carry to another level. My Lord.
Yes, blessed Lord. So I'm sure you got a good earful there from the priest. So you're understanding, you know, that what you are seeing here. Because as I was telling the good brother, we're not really at the hill yet when we're coming up there. But now you're starting to see, you know, the rocks and starting to get the understanding of the alignments and stuff like that. And I would just touch it a bit further, even to show you the alignment with Antigua and where would be called Heliopolis in Egypt. Because if you take the section, and all this is in the book that the Honorable Priest has out there, and Ancient and Modern, talking about the spirit of Antigua. You know, so if you take a section of the River Nile, where that city Heliopolis is, and you should make it transparent and put it on the northeastern corner of the Caribbean chain of islands. Heliopolis is exactly where Antigua is in that whole movement, and you know how, you know, it curves and stuff like that, and Heliopolis and Antigua is perfectly aligned. And the mystic of it is where you find Heliopolis, meaning Sun City, is also a name that, you know, they give Antigua, Sun City. You know, even in the license plate you see Sun, Sea and Sun, you know. So even if you go further now, Heliopolis is the Greek name for that city, after the Greeks conquered Egypt. But the Egyptian name for it was Anu. And then again, when you look at the port abbreviation for Antigua, it's Anu. So you're seeing a mystic kind of alignment there. And then you're seeing this hill that have these mystic rocks, volcanic rocks. It's not a volcanic island, but these rocks are coming up. Then you hear scientists, you know, astrologists, you know, coming here and finding these alignments with stars, you know. So right there you're seeing, as the king pointed out, the ancient and modern spirit making that alignment, you know, from that ancient time in ancient land of Kemet, and now in Antigua, and even the 365 beach slogan that we run here for Antigua. In Heliopolis, there are 365 temples erected to a goddess called Sekhmet. So you still see the 365 and then the sun connotation, and 365 is still the number of the solar year. So there's a lot of similarities with these places, you know. So whereas you can even go further and check out the book and get that information to see where the priests take it further to show you that mysticism of the link between Antigua, Greencastle Hill and Heliopolis in Kemet. You know, so on that note now, that's something else for you to think about. You guys can come and get some pictures on the thrones, and then we'll move on to where we call the Eternal City, and then go up to the Vulva, to the Phallic, and then ultimately the summit of the hill where we get the whole mystic about Governor Baldwin being up here. Blessed Lord.
Brother David, all the way in the USA, in England, and the whole crew. Just sit in and relax yourself. I hope you have all your snacks ready. You know, as I said, we are going through the hill today.
Paddy.
We have Brother Paddy time with us as well. So in a moment, he's expounding. That is the great grill there. For those of you who may not know, that is our historian here in Antigua. That is Brother Paddy. Simon, my good brother, they're looking at you internationally. So yeah, I will be. Everyone good?
Lemongrass?
Beautiful, huh? Excuse me. And it's a, yes, it's a safe to come up here and not eat no lemongrass.
Everyone is eating it.
Yeah, when you got your scent, you get the scent of the
Go with Daddy.
You're the one that.
you get the scent right there.
Oh, okay. Exactly.
Under there some now when all these people with masks and people don't know who they are. That's why when I take picture, I take off mask.
I'll take off Tony's hat. And if you can get one.
Yeah. President Kennedy, and then they have a black person. Right here. I hope they have Jesus. My son, that's Antigua. But strange enough, though we're so small, we were once we were the prized possession of England. There were times when England and Jamaica. There were times when Antigua possessed England more than the New England states in North America. In the 17th century, this guy, Josiah Martin, he was running for persecution. When he was persecution in Ireland, in Dublin. And so he came here and settled here. So he named here after his place in Ireland. That's where the name comes from, Greencastle. Because he said it reminded him of a place in Ireland. In 1701, cricket is not just a game for our that in Africa they have minerals, and they know that if you dig a hole there, it's going to cause a problem here, so they leave it. It's as simple as that. Now, recently I had some people come Antigua, and they say, well, how come nobody live down here? And they look behind you, they now go. Now, this site, this is the Amazon of Antigua. In other words, Big Creek is the Amazon of Antigua. It's the biggest body of water that goes to the sea from Antigua, and it comes from right between here. Now, down there is called the Flushing. It's swamp. So Antiguans who know it don't live there. So some people come and live there. And when rain comes and it flood, they wonder why. Look at it. Call it Flushing. That's why people don't live there. Because that's Antigua Big Creek. Antigua have so many firsts and so many historical things that when we speak, based on our size and our population, it sounds hyperbole. But it shouldn't be when you have facts and figures. Because this site here, as I tell you, connected to South America and England. Just that alone. Because a German once told me, if Antigua government know the position on the earth they are. Because listen, recently, before they had this modern satellite thing, BBC had a problem for South America, probably from South America, that they were getting them very faintly. And they did a survey of the Caribbean. That's how we get the BBC relay station that runs off the factories here. Antigua is the midpoint from Europe to South America. And if you go from east to west, we're still the midpoint. So when you hear them said the term Antigua is the axis of the earth, it's true. Because if you go by measurement and by degrees, Antigua falls flat in the middle of these things. And the German once told me if Antigua know the location, they could make money from just the here. Just from the here. And you know, it's amazing when I speak, and I keep telling people, when I speak and you go to the archive and the museum and don't find what I say, I'm not subjected to that because I'm not a historian, I'm a griot. You see, the difference is, here it works. You have the people who do it. Then you have the griot. Then you have the scribe. Then you have the historian. The historian won't read the book and come back and tell you. Today's Sunday. But if you read in that book that today is Wednesday, you read to you today is Wednesday to him. But the griot is the man who said, no, my elders told me today was Sunday because so. It's an explanation. How this griot business work? The elders get the youth and explain their life to this youth, hoping that when they die, like my father died 25 years ago, but he's alive because I call his name every day. You only die when your name stops calling. This is why Jesus is alive. This is why Selassie is alive, because his name is called every day. When your name stops calling, take. And this is why you see those youths here. Those are the most important people here today. Those youths. Because much of what I'm saying today, I get it when I was 6, 7 years of age of Antigua. I didn't get Antigua in a schoolroom. When we went to school, nobody was teaching us anything about Antigua in a schoolroom. You go around Antigua, the average person, and ask them, well, why is this? Why is that? They can't tell you because they don't give us our story. They give us their story. I learned about Henry VIII and his wife in my schooling. Those are the people I learned about. Europe. But they didn't teach us African history and our people history here. But Antigua. Now you imagine, just as the brother was telling you early on, just check it out, 365, it equals Antigua. And then when you go to the airline and you put on your baggage, the abbreviation is ANU. And the brother wrote the book ANU, which is the same thing, the symbols, everything just adds up. But a lot of people see things and they don't ask questions. And I tell you this much, all of you who have young children, don't you ever tell your child he's talking too much. Don't you ever tell your child, don't ask no question. Because when I was a child, you couldn't dare tell me in front of my father, hush my mouth. He tell you, if you can't answer him, send him to me. And that's how you raise children. Because remember, I am 66 years of age now. That child who is 10 years of age, 50 years from now, it'll be 116. I'm not going to live so long. But 50 years from now, he'll just be 60. So he would have it 50 years from now to carry on, just like my generations did me. And it's amazing the amount of things that we have here. I tell you, even this much in World War II, the Germans were sinking the supply boats coming over from America into England. And then they just survey the Caribbean again. That's why we get the American base here in 1942. The one at Parham, they called that the top base, that was the naval base. And where you call Air Force now Coolidge, that was the Air Force base. You know? And it's amazing, brothers and sisters, that if you really know Antigua, as I keep telling people, Antigua have the best history in the Caribbean. The best. With you facts and figures. Brothers say we're going to move up to the next point. I'll give you another taste up there again. Thank you for this.
Yes, family, give the gear around here, you know. Alright. Yeah, you know what? You gotta get up again. Now, that's the male reproductive system, and this represents the female reproductive system. Now, keep this in mind, most of what we were talking about coming up here, we were talking about how the hill, so mystically aligns with all of these different things. So I think by now, I know in school they teach you about living things and non-living things. I think rocks and so are considered non-living things. But them things here is life. Now, the reproduction is a natural thing. I mean, the world we live in now, the subject becomes taboo. But it's a natural thing. Nothing. A vulva is the opening of the vaginal canal. Sometimes we don't want to talk about these things and children around. But they need to know this. It's better you tell them than somebody else tell them. Trust me. In fact, I encourage you to tell them before somebody else tells them. Because they might tell them the wrong thing. So, naturally, you see all the megalithic sites we spoke about before? In Egypt and Mexico, and so the Pyramid of the Sun and these places. If you go to these places, you see a lot of drawings, hieroglyphs. Sometimes you see the chief god standing with an erected penis. Sometimes you see the mother, she's drawn like the stars, like the sky. So you see her bending over and all the stars painted on her body. And in the morning, the sun comes out of her womb. Every morning, the sun comes out of her womb. That is called symbolism. That is how we would, exchange information in that ancient time. Symbolism, it's symbolic, So the point is now that creation is a natural thing. So in the same way you go to these other megalithic sites and you see them expressing creation, this megalithic site, Green Castle, which is alive, is also expressing creation. That's what's going on here. For you to actually, this V figure is the symbol of the woman, it's the natural symbol of the woman. Even sometimes when you check the crotch of the woman, you see the V printed out. Real talking now, nobody needs to feel now, It's natural, it's science we're dealing with. In the same way, in the same way, you notice the V is utilized with a lot of words that have to do with the woman, like if it wasn't I and I. And there's times that people that I have so much stories I can tell you about, even people that come up here and can't get out to up here. I have to call me and WhatsApp and I have to guide them out to up here. The point I'm making is that people have an attitude, they wouldn't come to you. You know what I mean? To guide them properly. They prefer come on their own. But when trouble comes, they come and they mark the stones. There's several stones marked from up here, so that they would know the trail when they coming back down and when they want to come back. But you defacing a precious monument, you don't mark up on them stones like that. That's like you go to some cathedral and mark your name on it. Them is not things to spray up. So there's no problem, we know the trail. The trails that you walk come up here, we clean these trails and keep them the way that they are. And it's not a problem, no, we don't own the hill, don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is that it's obvious that we put a lot of energy in the preservation of this. More than you know. There's a lot of politics behind this and lawyer work and so that you don't even nearly know about. So when I want to just take up themselves and say they're coming up here and they're spraying up on the stones, to me it's almost as disrespectful as when you go around the side and you can see all the dynamite bags, the Sammy concrete and so just scattered across the I equate them two things the same, because one needs the respect. But people funny, especially with Rasta and so, you can't deny it, you know that. People weird, especially when it comes to Rasta or the Rasta man, and so they can step over you because they don't see your value. People tell me in my lifetime, you too smart to be a Rasta. So that I will show you the level that they have Rastafari and I too smart to be a Rasta. So I find it disrespectful. You ask me. I find it disrespectful for one to come up here and mark up on them stones there. There should be a law against that, because this is a national monument, So anyway, just quickly on my part, this is the phallic stone, symbol of power. This is where you get the obelisk from, like what you see in Washington. The Washington Monument is an obelisk. It was taken from this symbol here. If you go in Rome and these different places in St. Peter's Square, you have the obelisk. The same obelisk that the Pope pray to every Sunday, that was stolen from Ethiopia. Stolen, eh? Every Sunday he's doing the mass, thou shalt not steal. He never say, hey, listen. Sunday, right? You don't want to see this there. The church camp. You don't understand, but no, he's still there. But anyway, so a lot of the obelisks represents the standing phallic, but this is a natural obelisk, as you could say. Now mind the little crack, Andrea might explain a bit more about that. But to me, this crack was formed when they were trying to steal it.
Ooh.
You know, because that's what they do, you know. They try to remove a lot of these ancient monuments, and I believe they just couldn't get this one moved. Yeah. Say, colonial masters. Yeah, say, well, say, you know, trying to steal it, well, as I said, the one in Rome, and so those were stolen. You know, I guess I just expect most to know stealers were. That's what they call them, you know, stealers. They were the one and stealers. All over the world, there's several of them. There's several of them that were stolen. So the point is now that this here represents the original, because this is not an obelisk. This is the actual phallic. You can see it look like a phallic even from the top. You know, and that's what makes Antigua unique, because all those other ones were built to represent this. But just like the rest of the stone and everything else about the hill that is similar to other places, it's not built, not designed by no human being. It's just a natural phenomenon. By God. Let's just put it down. Yes, sir.
Even though the X-bone and the cracking, you know, whereas you see, everything could have happened by somebody trying to remove it, but some people were of the meditation that it was placed at that. So really now, this side right here, when you guys come around, you'll be able to see clearly, for those behind, what I'm speaking about here. This side now is the pyramid. Because if you look, this piece that's broken off is one piece. You know, it was broken from the top and back. It wasn't like just broken off here, just broken off down there. You can see that it was one piece and the whole chunk came out even if it wasn't cracked. Trying to get this up and they can't penetrate it deep enough again. You know, but the elders from Bendals, you know, gave us some history and they were talking about a chain. I guess that's the explanation why it was big, you know. They would say, cut a chain on it and then you would pull the chain and then you would hear like an echo or some kind of sound returning to you from that direction. Now this stone is perfectly aligned with the bulbous and
yeah, my real thing of
and the 21st of March.
more things to see. No, going in valley there is bad.
That direction of the sun cast a shadow of the bulbous of the valley towards the sorry. Aligned with those hills. Those hills far from each other. But from here now, yes, this vantage point gives you that like they just align with each other in this pyramid shape, like the pyramids of Giza.
Is it one particular one?
No, I'm talking about all of them. You know how they give you this pyramid shape. You know? Yeah, and that's now aligned with the bulbous, aligned with this, and then when we go up to the top here, we're going to see the bulb is seeping in and it's kind of like this itself in alignment with how it is. Okay, so anyone to pictures again, you know, and it's good to touch the stones now and get some of that energy. No, right behind it. Yeah, because Fern's right behind it.
So which one? Because they follow for each other now. You look like you know what behind that. They heard me too. Right. The last. This one. Yeah, essentially. When I say,
But you know, you see like how that stone is standing out. That type of quality. You know? But when at the top now, you're gonna see that section in a better view. That's a section that we, you know, lovingly call Lalabella. Yeah. You know, and we're the brethren with the hat yarn. Oh yeah. You were asking me also now about the businessman. Well, this is the area that the elders say. He found a breastplate. Right, and I don't know what my wasn't saying. You know, pop up and leave. So then now you have to ask yourself now what was it you know, because if you're a businessman, you just lock up your business and leave. Either that frightens you to do that, or that gonna give you more wealth than whatever business you can. And how to do it. Well, the elder said it was a breastplate. I did a second hand information. As I said, the person that gave that information, he around 90 years old. You know, because he's saying that he used to come on this hill and run around as a child and play. You know, so then now that's where he remember as a child that this white man finds some breastplate around this palace down here. And that just make him just leave. You know, so I find that very hard. Now not going to be able to say, well, oh, it was this type of thing. He just can describe it as a breastplate. And I remember maybe then I want to say it's a war breastplate to someone Spanish. But then again, they never came to Antigua. They named the island Columbus, then named it after on the ship. You know, but you know that they still came on the island after. But so you never know. You know, then again, this place, Green Castle itself, the ancient Indians used to use it for religious purposes. At the same time, you know, the Bible talk about the breastplate of the priest. So maybe some kind of breastplate like that, that would be a valuable breastplate. That would have been gold and many precious stones in it. You know, so you never know exactly what he found, but he found something. And he said goodbye to Antigua, you know. Yeah, so now we have the last little push. The last little effort that you have to put in. And then we will have another time of rest up at the top there. That will reach the top now and we'll see the grave of Governor Baldwin. And I'll give you a little reasonment on that. And Brother Paddy will also expound a bit on that one also. So you can just follow the trail going up. I'll be with you in a minute. Go ahead.
Something like that before to get inside. So, I feel like I'm doing the same thing again.
This one.
I don't want to.
police band instructor, music instructor, and one our first Senate in Trinidad. This lady there now. No. She named it from my tongue. I'll get it in the conversation. Bertha Higgins. It was Bertha Higgins and Griffin, who was a musician, who got the steel band with the blessing of Governor Baldwin. He so loved Antigua that, as he said, he decreed that on his death, he would like his ashes to be interred here. Now, what we are seeing today, as you look around all these houses, you're seeing all these developments, field. Yeah? And the last time I came here, the grass here weren't as high, so all that clapping, now, ironically, clean the land and you have free growth. Fortunate for us, the man thing up here, so nothing up here so we can grow by the fire. But as you look around here, notice you're seeing from as far as you see, right around. But the most important don't believe you have 25 people today who can tell you that yes, they were here when this was done. Maybe have 2 or 3. Yeah? Maybe have 2 or 3. But remember, is a governor ashes will be buried. So in a police band and so they hear it. So when all the police who played in the band, they don't retire. If they make it. The point I'm making is the elders who taught me, they're gone, but I'm now these youth. I'm not so optimistic that 50 years from now I can be still alive. I'll be 116. But 50 years from now, that's what, 59? He's right! Good. And this is what I do. High priest, he can pull me off this hill with a snapper. People can't do it with a phone. Because of the problem. I respect him because he did. Yeah? And fortunate for me, I know his dad and stuff like that. And his father and I respect him. And I know he will. As he said, in Antigua, it's a corner where the top. I think what is good for the nation because sisters and brothers in the England, tell me Hampton Court Palace in Henry VIII used to live. Hampton Court Palace in England. That gave the people and tourists a year time than the whole Caribbean. You understand? So, why should they preserve their things and we? In Antigua, tell them in 1960, all you old stuff. Come on, man. Just like when we look at the TV and we see those stars in Cuba, and we say, oh, look at poor people. I see genius to keep them alive. In California, they have those same cars. And you know, with a movie, to make a movie of the 1940s, you can build a building and paint it. You don't even have to build a building. You have a wall and they paint a building in it. Now when the camera pick it up, you're not going inside there, so you don't know if it's a building. But you know the most expensive thing for that movie is the cars. So you imagine that a man have a car from 1952 and he's getting $3 million for that car to appear for a snapshot in a movie. That's how they make their money. But our people just don't see things as for posterity. Everything must finish overnight. And until we get young people and visitors here like y'all, and when the brothers and them say, look, let's have a signature to petition certain things, and people sign in and things like that, these kind of places gonna go. Because what y'all are seeing down there, right? As I'm telling y'all, it's amazing. Any one of you who know Fort James right now, what you're seeing in Fort James now, when I was a boy in 1964 going there, the road would be all way out in the water. The road. What you call the road now, that would be way out in the water. Fort James. Runaway Beach don't have any beach anymore. And the guy with the hotel, you see how far out he went? That's where the beach was there. So we're losing from natural phenomena coming in and leaving. But then when you're doing inland destruction,
that was a plan. That is a plan.
Because maybe you can't protect the sea from coming in. But when you're doing it inland, naturally, then it's bad. It's real bad. So now our next thing, I'll tell you all this. All who ever see a sunset, show me the hands of whoever see a sunset. hands to whoever see a sunset.
Me.
So you see the green? You see the green? You never see a sunset. Who else put up there?
Partial, not
You see the green?
I didn't see
You never see a sunset. You see the green? You see a sunset. You see the green?
Yeah.
You see a sunset. Well, now, in color mixing scheme, orange and blue gives you green. So what happens when the sun is setting, it is orange. Now you must see it over water to see a complete sunset. So what happens? The water is blue and the sun coming down orange. And when the sun drops on the horizon, you see it between the water and it sends off a blue flash, a green flash. They don't have a camera yet to take it. If you have never seen that green, you would have never seen a sunset. And the only thing can compete with that to see the volcano eruption, to see the birth of a child or the death of a person. If you don't see those, you would have never seen anything because it's natural phenomenon. I was fortunate that my father died in my arms like a baby, so I've seen the death of a person. I've never seen the birth of a child coming out of the hospital. I've never seen a volcano eruption. But I've seen the death of a person, I've seen the sunset. So out of the four, I've seen you know? But what I tell y'all, please, given the time, try your best, anywhere you are, to try to see if you can see the green, because until you see the green in the sunset, you would have never seen the sunset. And when you see that green, it's going to change your life. It will change your life. You will see, as they call it, the handiworks of God. Because if you don't see that, they don't have a camera yet to take it, you know. With all them fancy cameras they have, you know, they still don't have a camera to get that yet, you know, because it's a flash. And it just sends off. So if you don't see that green. Sometimes it's nice, what you, sorry. Sometimes it's just right to see. But sometimes the cloud and sun in the background, you just can't get it. If you don't get it today, you can't do it. Go again. It's tomorrow. That's the unique thing about it. Okay? I hope you all had a good time with us up here this afternoon. And as the brother says, we go back down. Okay?
Blessed love, brother Paddy. Okay, now, come little one, move over here, come, let's all of us get this one, because this is now instructions for going down. Come. Walk along that road and go down. There now we will see like a half section of the hill where you will see the stones now actually going out of the earth and pushing up through the earth itself. So when we come down this way, there's a trail, so we just have to follow the trail. But it's a bit steep, we have a few loose stones, so everybody just stay close to each other and help each other as we make our way down.
Okay, well, you come up safe, you want to go up safe.
I like it.
Okay.
Okay. Let go.
He's doing it live. Some of these structures that you're seeing in front of you was hill. And they blow it up until it reach in here now. Down the next level, you will get a more in-depth look of the destruction that has been taken place. Just bear in mind, a lot of what you see as industry was the hill. You know, 1963. So, elders from Benders would speak about 3 thrones that used to be on the east side. Bigger than the ones that we were on, that had armrests and everything. 3 of them facing east, and that one is gone. So you can't see that anymore. They had something replicating a 4-post bed.
Okay.
So as we move along,
Jordan?
Jordy.
No.
yeah, take it easy, lift one down, close there. There are a few things I want to find out as we move forward. Okay, so what you see in here now is plastic. This as you can see from this stone, this will show you where before this was blown away. Remember all the time I kept telling you, pay attention to the if this wasn't blown away, all you would be seeing is this little round piece at the top. You can see where it's coming from. You know, and this even have the shape of a phallic. Everything. Some of this coming from the dynamite. But you can see it would have been, you know, depth as to where the stones are coming from. That flat part out there was here, and it got right down. Probably did now.
Oh yeah, you feel you're taking baby steps. Obviously, a good take on to like midnight. I thought I will jog off. I can't.
Need to put the sidewalk in, so if you slide, fall over you. Okay.
What you gotta do, bend your knees.
Just take your time.
Bend your knees. Always make sure you take your time.
Rasta Lord with Rasta, alright. love and nine, it is like the pressure excitement that run down from my head into the ear and feet, that run down to his skirt of his garment. As the draw for a man, he just tell me upon the mountain. But he live in I commanding his blessings, even love and life for I and Highly Rastafari.
Give thanks to the Naive Bingy House drummers there with us. Blessed love. Give thanks, family. So, I'm not even going to spend too much time. We're going to step down now. I'm sure as you came now, you saw the wonderful sunset. You know, and of course, the heavens is afire right now. The heavens is lit. And give thanks, you know, it was a wonderful gathering coming together. But we still have one more word to say before we even leave the area itself. So when we reach at the bottom, I will say that word. But I'm just going to make the Honorable Raspberry say one short word to you as well.
Well, my power has died, so I got to just speak close, you know. We're present with another experience, you know, of Solstice. So we just give thanks, you know, for the full gathering and for everyone, you know, and just keep the energy up. Learn and research and go, you know, from the family here in Antigua with that thing. Oh, you good with the ceiling, right?
Oh, that way.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, so we're sealing up. We're honored to have our new here with us. We have this man fight. Just give them the last one.
And I encourage everyone that when they have anything like this, please come and join them, because it's amazing that what you see now, maybe 50 years from now, your children and grandchildren may not be seeing it. So I
Yeah, the easier part is that everybody can relax.
Anybody I can take fever grass. Make sure. Don't come home without some of this. You know. true.